Hey everyone, welcome to a new Let's Play. This time we're doing Wakeboarding Unleashed. Yes, I am finally getting into what is essentially Shaba Games' biggest of their games, essentially, in a way. Wakeboarding Unleashed featuring Sean Murray, or as you would have known as Sean Murray Pro Wakeboarding. Because the demo did exist beforehand, but then the whole Pro series thing, that died. That failed completely. So it got renamed. And basically the entire point of this game, as you see from the demo, is basically just wakeboarding, sort of like surfing, except you're holding on to a rope the entire time while being followed with a boat. And yeah, just doing tricks and jumps and grinds and all sorts, all across a watery area. Now, this menu here is honestly pretty cool because the fact that it is just very much dynamic. It's not like a picture or what have you or a video. It is very much an actual in-game area right now, like an in-game moment. And for the most part, all these characters seen here will show up in the selection as well. So we're going to be choosing through of them. Of course, I'll be starting off by choosing Sean Murray. I'll be showing off their starter boards as well. Like, for instance, Sean Murray's is going to be the 2003 Belmont 141 DNA. And there are about, like, 4 boards for everybody, though in reality, they all have, like, about 3 unique boards, and the 4th one is, well, it's a special one you get for 100% in the game. With at least one rider, by the way. So, basically with this game, I'm going to be 100% in it. And the thing is, no one's properly 100% at this game. No one. When it comes to single player, this has been 100%ed by one YouTube channel, but then they decided to just unlist the entire thing, so keep that in mind. But there is a co-op thing in this game, and we'll get to that later on in the future. But right now, we're going for the train level, which is the Delta. This won't be the last time we see the Delta. We will see it again in the future, but for now, we're doing the training here in the Delta. And the training is stupid fucking simple. It is essentially just, here's the most basic techniques, you know, turning, hard turning, boost turning, jumping, doing flips, doing, you know, grabs and what have you, grinds, wall rides, all that sort of stuff. And for the most part, useful for getting you a basic feel of the game. But they do omit some things, which would be nice if they told you. We'll get to it when we get to it, but essentially there are going to be some things the game is going to be expecting of you that are going to be not really explained here. And there's also going to be moments where the gaps are going to be bullshit. Now, because it's Shaba Games, they do have the tendency with pretty much every game they've made where a gap checklist is a thing, where they don't hold back. They really don't. And they have one gap at the very least, which is complete fucking bullshit. Well, because this is Shaba Games' ultimatum here, their masterpiece, if you will, almost every level in the fucking game has at least one absolute bullshit gap. This is Shaba Games' hardest of the games that they have made and released. Both ports and an actual game they made. And quite frankly, I don't really like it too much. It is a game where I wanted to enjoy it, and in fact there were things I did enjoy about it. But as I kept going along and along, oh my god, did I just hate these gaps so fucking much that it killed the enjoyment for me heavily. Like, not even a joke, some of these gaps are so dog shit, it's not even fair. It's not even fucking fair. And even some of the challenges aren't really that fucking fair. We'll get to it when we get to it, but for the most part, this game, it's gonna play some bullshit. Like, for instance, it's grinding. Sometimes the grinding is fine. Sometimes it works as intended, sometimes there's no issues. Other times, the grinding just is jank and doesn't quite want to work correctly. And in fact, the camera can be a bit jank as well. And so can the balancing. Now, besides that, a lot of other things work fine. But yeah, for the most part, you're gonna be just having a bad time. By the way, the groove meter. Now, it brings up how you can fill the groove meter. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Something it never tells you is that the whole circle button flip thing, you're gonna be utilizing that a fuck ton more to get your groove up than the square button and even the grind at times. Because when you're doing this, you're not really growing it too much, though you will be at the very least getting some score. If you want to grow that groove bar much higher up, you're going to be wanting to do some circle button tricks, which are usually the rolls and the flips and all of that, whereas square is normal grab button stuff. Also, this shit the tutorial does get annoying, because yeah, as you can see here, I fucked up, because again, the grinding can be really jank, and it's very easy to end up overshooting it like that. Sometimes it just acts more like a fucking kicker than a goddamn grind. It's annoying. But yeah, for the most part, I do get it here. Because the magnetism in this game is a little bit fair at the very least. But it's still jank. It's still jank. Also, something I'm going to mention right now. The tutorial will never, ever talk about the boat. I mentioned this. As we'll soon see, the boat is going to be of importance. But right now, this tutorial is basically completed. And that's it. At this point, you just got to learn the rest on your own. And yes, by completing that, you do get a stat point. So that's nice. Now then, it's time for us to move on to Lake Powell. How many fucking games have I played where Lake Powell shows up when it comes to water games? Like, seriously. Anyway, we have the scores, up to 6,000 for insane score. And even combo scores, you know, the fucking board slide stuff, 100 feet. There's even manual ones eventually. And even some optional ones like this secret rail thing and the tubers. Now, originally, there were a few more goals, I believe. And not only that, but there also used to be a thing where you can please the babes, I guess. And the babes are still here. But they got rid of that. I'm getting the feeling that this game had more goals originally. And they just kind of got rid of a few of them when it came to later on after the demo. And when it came to the rename of the game. And I'm wondering if it has to do with some kind of, I don't know, a sexism thing maybe? I bring that up because the fact that one of the main goals from the demo that are not here is literally the whole, you know, babe thing. Because that was an actual goal in the demo, and that's not here now. The babes are still here, they still make noise, but you're not doing anything with them anymore. They're just here to show, like, for show, basically. They're set design now. But the tubers are still here. We're still knocking their asses over. And I mean, a lot of the gaps are still here as well, which, by the way, I never did all the gaps in the demo, because the demo also had a very strict timer, so I couldn't. But I'm pretty sure all the gaps here are from the demo. I don't think any of them are missing, as far as I can tell. And for the most part, there is a bit of a nice thing the game does, in that as you're getting gaps, you will get gap points. These gap points can be utilized to essentially unlock a previewer so that the game can show you where the gap is. And you get that previewer when you even complete the gap, in fact. So you can basically, you know, use your points in order to get a bit more of a hint as to where gaps are and such, which is very nice to the game. I'm going to tell you right now that, one, I'm not going to use any of those points. You're going to be seeing how many points overall there are, in fact, how many gaps there are for the most part with it. And two, I mean this, also the footage will glitch out. I couldn't control that. My Elgato screen capture just hated this fucking game. I don't know why. Eventually I move over to OBS because of this shit. I really am sorry. But, yeah. The second reason, legitimately, is because of the very fact of... This game is kind of like BMX Triple X. I haven't done that game yet, but if you've seen Insect play this game, play BMX Triple X beforehand, you already know about there being a cheat that BMX Triple X has, which is a cheat that will show you sort of like the guidelines of the gaps that the game has. Yeah, that fucking shit, that's basically what the gaps list shit is, mostly. Also, sometimes the game, even with these guys, is a bit jank. Like, that can happen. He's still out, by the way. But yeah, here's me taking care of this dude, and then getting the remaining tubers out of the way. And then I'll take care of the one goal as well. You know, the secret rail one. And also another gap here, you know, this big long one. I will mention the bullshit one soon, but yeah. Ultimately, the gap list, even when you get the hints, there are a fair amount of hints that aren't hints. If anything, they exist to put you in the wrong path and fuck you over. I will mention when that is the fact, because it gets really bad. But yeah, I got to stay on target, and that is the whole secret rail thing. And there you go. And now it's time for me to take care of all the gaps, because that is all the goals. Yeah, not many goals. That's because the game kind of splits itself up, where you have the, you know, the groove objectives, as it's called. And then you have the challenge mode, and then you have the gap list. So, the gap keys are how we unlock gaps here to get a preview. I'm not using those. I'm instead going to show you all the gaps this way. Like, for instance, grind here will give you slide on by. And we have this gap over here, where you just jump across this little, you know, chasm here for past the crevice. And then you want to go ahead and grind these 3 boats here. Now, if you let go of the rope at any point, this can happen. Just kidding, I don't show that. But what can happen is that if you let go of the rope, sometimes the game will just put you up into the air or kick you out of a rail or some shit. And sometimes it doesn't. It's just kind of random. And it depends on if you're holding onto the rope or if you're not. So you also gotta just kind of know when you need to be holding onto that fucking rope and when you're not supposed to. Like, for instance, getting a lot of speed with the rope in order to get enough distance to jump up here and grind this entire bit. Because there's also these little icons you can see here which change up the routes. But there's gonna be routes in the game you legitimately can't fucking change up at all. So you have to kind of force yourself over to those routes in order to actually get to them. It's stupid. Alright, Chocolate's Delight was, you know, that kind of grind. Grind both ends and you'll get it. Then jump across this entire bit here in order to get the Rainbow Bridge. Then you have, you know, this little bit here where you go backwards and grind this spot. This will be easier for you to do than the other way around. Then just grind that spot, then you get, you know, Purse the Arch. You can also get the secret grind thing here if you wanted to. You know, get a bit more of a combo going. Now, after all of that, we then have this shit. Where you jump over here and grab the spot up the way over in order to get La Playa. There's a bit more to it, but I will tell you right now, an easier way of taking care of a specific thing is instead of doing what I'm doing, where you need the boat in order to get over there and then grind this spot, just use the ramp on the left and then jump all the way around to get the ala zoop. Now, this is one of the bullshit gaps, and I got it by kind of bugging out the game a little bit. It's called Shadow Arch. Here is how you're supposed to actually get Shadow Arch for a different player. You get a big enough double jump, get a lot of fucking distance, and you grind that. That will take you many, many attempts. It is not fun. And another bullshit one is this one, which requires you to just time it just right to get absolutely accurate, to grind, not land, but fucking grind onto the rail, and you get Feel the Groove. Both of those gaps are not fun. In fact, Shadow Arch is the hardest one, honestly. And yeah, that's the first of the bullshit gaps that this game has. I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. I generally, like, from playing this game, I lost more and more respect for Shaba overall, because I just hated how much of a bunch of assholes they were about these gaps. Like, they were bad when it came to Tony Hawk games and such, with, you know, specific gaps like, I think, Zen Mind and Skate Everywhere and all that crap. But, oh my fucking god, this game is just those kinds of gaps in almost every level. At least one in almost every level. And with a game like this, where it has a bit more of a unique control scheme to it and such, fuck me, is it not fun. But yeah, with this one's Endurance, which is just essentially do the tricks. You know, the casual Tony Hawk, you know, just copy the tricks they call out, except that, you know, the whole line's already there. Pretty easy, pretty basic. We got another staple, count to 5 and count to 10. We're doing count to 5 first. Basically, it's just get all of the numbers in one combo. And the count to 10 one can usually be the hardest one. Usually. There are moments when the 5 one is the hardest, but ultimately the number ones are going to have some challenge to them. That's pretty bare bones. But then we got Manual King here, which is a unique one. You just manual through these free buoys, and that's about it. And if your manual ends, you fail. Just keep holding onto the rope, and you'll be fine. The boat will pretty much brush alongside this area, so you have no reason to let go. And there you go. Next up, we have the boat race, and this is where that whole thing about me mentioning the boat is important, because we are now going to be driving the boat. You have to do it in 2 laps, and essentially we have to get fuel along the way. If we run out of fuel, we fail. If we run out of time, we fail. Now there's also these boost canisters around, and I really wish the tutorial existed for the boat, because it would be very nice if the game explained how you use the fucking nitrous in this game. And I can tell you this much, almost no one knows how to use the fucking nitrous. I'll tell you eventually, but not in this video. Not in this video. You get to see how easy this is though, but eventually it does get harder. Just make sure to, you know, bridge out the fuel canisters, you know? So you don't end up like taking all of them in your second run. You have none to collect, so you're going to be running out of fuel and you're going to fail. But yeah, 50 seconds, pretty basic, pretty easy. But yeah, moving on, we have Star Search. This is pretty much one of the hardest ones. Because Star Search is also important for the 100%. Now, how so? Well, all you have to do here is grab 30 stars. There are 60 stars overall in this one here. If you want to just beat the game, just get the 30 stars. If you actually want to 100% the game and get everything done, you have to collect all 60 within the time limit. Now, why would you want to do that? Because then you'll be called a collection master. And if you are called a collection master, then that means you get like a special star next to the completion of this one. And you will get something for getting all collection masters. So, if you want to get everything, you kind of have to do collection master. You know, you have to get all the collection masters. So you have to get all the stars in the run. And I'm telling you right now, some levels are fucking douchebagged when it comes to getting all the stars. Like, they are not fair when it comes to positioning of this sort of stuff. You'll see why later on. But right now, this is not that hard. This first level isn't that hard. Lake Powell is fairly nice to you when it comes to this stuff. So yeah. Also, you might be wondering what these little icons on the bottom right even signify, like L, S, and G. And there's also C, I think. L, I think, is level unlocked. S is stats available. G is, I think, gaps available. And, fucking C is challenges available, like new challenges. Also, C got the green star. So yeah, now we're doing targets. Target practice is pretty much, hit the targets, each miss to strike, get 3 attempts, don't fuck up. And this one's pretty easy, except for the last one because of a little caveat that it has. But the first 2 are very basic. That one, very basic. This one, just go on the spot, you'll get it, very easy. The last one is the actual challenge here, and that's because of the fact that this game also monetizes you with ramps. So you get too close to that ramp, I can't turn right. So, yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, don't go where this little, falling ball bullshit's showing you. Just go next to the ramp, go past it, next to the kicker, go past it, and then go right instead. Don't jump off the kicker. Next up is video shoot, where you get 30,000 points in a video shoot, quote unquote. And what video shoot is, it'll show up a few times, is essentially this. Now, your controls, they basically stay the same, but because of your visual, it feels like you're in reverse controls. Which will fuck you. Now, I have played enough games that do this kind of reverse controls crap, where I can kind of quickly get used to this immediately when it starts coming in, so I can handle this. I can tell you the average gamer is not going to handle this, and I can tell you right now that this is not that easy. And it's going to get much harder later on, so it's not going to be a fun time. The camera is also not very nice to you either. It will block out some things from your view. Keep that in mind as well. Anyway, now it's time for the 10 number one, because obviously if we've done the 5 number, we're doing the 10 number. And all it is, for the most part, is an extension of the 5 number with a few more numbers at the end. That usually is the case. There are moments, at least 1 or 2 moments, where that's not the case, but right now it is. So, just get the 5 and keep going for the rest. As you saw there, I let go of the rope, and it jumped off, and because of that, it just kicked me off the rail. I stay on the rope, though, and I do kicked off. Again, the grind thing is a bit weird and jank, and there's some weirdness with the whole rope thing. Keep that in mind. Also, we're living on the end gap here, and as you can see, the text here goes so fucking fast you can't even read it. Living on the edge gap. So, thank you, game, for that one. Here's me ramming into the boat. And, yeah, for the most part, this is fine, I guess. We all know how to get this gap, and there are a few gap ones, tricky gap ones. Though, this isn't really a tricky gap. I mean, it's easy to fuck up, sure. But it's not tricky. The tricky gaps are more so shit like the Shadow Arc. But the game isn't gonna make you do those bullshit ones when it comes to the challenges. It's gonna make you do ones that are a bit more manageable, really, and won't take you, hours of attempts. Also, gotta grab the rope at the end or else you fail. Yeah, that little caveat's gonna be a bit of a thing. And that's it. So, I'm not gonna show off the whole gapless thing, and that's gonna be it for this part for the most part. This is gonna be the thing with this entire Let's Play, really. Also, the crown thing only shows up in the one level and for the one rider. Every rider gets their own crown, and Sean Murray gets his golden crown, as you can obviously see. Also, yeah, the S stands for stats, and I'm going to go ahead and put all my stats in except for Switch, because Switch is the less useful one. The most useful one, I think, is the balancing ones, and then the jump height. I think, for the most part, other ones like, carving or whatever, not really that needed. Neither is turning, really. But yeah, Switch is the most useless. Anyway, Here are all of the cameras, by the way. Here's all the hints. And for this level, they are fairly okay about it. They do show you basically a good understanding on where they are and what you do. But yeah, for the most part, there's gonna be moments where they don't do this. And they're assholes for it. And I'm gonna call them out when they do that shit. Because these are supposed to give you help in order to find out where the gaps are. And if they don't fucking do that, I'm going to be angry and call them out on it. And there are a good number of gaps where Shaba fucking does that. Like, even with that one, it kind of, like, moves the camera away where you can kind of get a good idea on, like, hey, it's that whole entire crevice thing there, just jump over that. But yeah, like, oh my fucking god, there's moments that just put me up a wall with this game. And we'll be exploring that soon. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this part. And yeah, for the most part, next time we're gonna go over to the next level, which is the Bayou. Something I'll bring up right now is that this game is rather hillbilly-ish. And there is no level more hillbilly than the Bayou. You're gonna see why. But, for now, that's all the gaps of this level. And yeah, that is Lake Powell. Good to see it again. Pretty neat. So yeah, next time we're gonna go through a different rider, by the way, and we're gonna do the Bayou, which has a lot more gaps and a few more objectives. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you then. Also, I want to give thanks to the bands that essentially allowed me use for their song, Glass Eyes, for the intro of this video, Tachycardia. And yeah, honestly, I'd recommend fully that you go check out their music and even support the bands, especially because they are an Australian band. They're also a stoner rock band, but, you know, stoner rock can be really good, honestly, and their music here is generally very good. Now, they don't have too many albums. They have their, you know, self-titled album, and then they have the B-sides from the archives. But what they have legitimately is good, and from their self-titled album alone, there are some good ones, like, obviously, Glass Eyes. Another one I can bring up is Deep End. I genuinely like that song a lot, and, of course, who can not love a song that's called Fuck the Man? But, yeah, for the most part, there are some good stuff in the B-sides as well, though not too much. There's a 2021 mix, Glass Eyes, as well as, like, See You Around and Don't Waste Your Breath. I'm really hoping to see more from Tachycardia, and I am excited to, you know, help support, like, a more local band in this case, compared to, you know, beforehand and all. And, yeah, like, genuinely give these guys a shot, because their music is really good. And again, I'm very thankful that they gave me the opportunity to put this song in and basically just allow it as being the intro for the song. Because if I play Van Halen's Unchained, this video is going to get buried, okay? It's just not going to survive. YouTube is going to get their shotgun out and they're going to come to my house if I play Unchained. So, yeah. For the most part, though, it was very fitting for that intro and very fitting for the vibe this game gives, because it's a very chill game when you just play it casually. It's not going to be that chill when I'm playing it, but it's chill enough that this song fits in with the general vibe of the game and even the soundtrack at times. So yeah, thank you again for Tachycardia for allowing me to use their song. And I hope you go through and check out their Bandcamp and see more of their music. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you all later.